It's day 40 of the government shutdown, the longest in history. And today, the Senate could take a test vote as the GOP believes some Democrats could break with their party to break the filibuster and finally bring the shutdown to an end. Fox News contributor Joe Concha joins us now. So, Joe, what do you make? I mean, here we are, 40 days. You've had these holdout Democrat senators that have kept the government short. What we're looking at possibly this morning or at some point today is Republicans putting forth a pure spending bill, funds the Ag Department for SNAP benefits, the VA, and a few other things. But there is nothing in this to extend the Obamacare subsidies.
And therefore, Griff, as you just laid out, the Democrats will probably reject it again. And look, we're getting to a very dangerous aspect of this government shutdown. For the first few weeks, this was something almost all Americans, they didn't even feel or they really didn't even care about. But now we're seeing travel being impacted in a big way. And our friend Larry Kudlow has been saying recently, we are one plane crash away from this being something that many Americans, all Americans, are going to be apocalyptic about, as far as Democrats not simply voting to open the government as Republicans have 14 times with a CR. And now progressives have to understand here that they don't have any leverage. Elections have consequences. If they want to negotiate on Obamacare, which has only resulted, by the way, in premiums and health care costs skyrocketing since it went into law, 15 years ago, then they should open the government first, negotiate later, because this could end up being a deadly government shutdown in Thanksgiving travel coming up soon, and we simply do not have enough air traffic controllers on the job right now to handle all those planes in the skies.
Yeah, and we've been tracking the cancellations and delays every day. You can see the bug on our screen. We're keeping the viewers updated. But, you know, it's a great point you raised about our friend Larry Kudlow. I was on his show yesterday talking to him about this, and I asked him if he was in support of the filibuster, like Republicans just ending the filibuster altogether. And he thinks ultimately that may have to be the resolution. Obviously, President Trump encouraging Republicans to do it. What say you?
I'm with the 15 Senate Republicans who say, do not do this, Mr. President. Ending the filibuster, yes, it will solve this problem now. But what that's going to lead to, if Democrats get back into power, Griff, you will see D.C. and Puerto Rico becoming states. That means four Democrat senators being added to that chamber, probably giving them a permanent majority for our lifetime. When you add four just out of nowhere, they'll expand the Supreme Court, where it'll look more like a basketball roster than anything else, where you're going to have all these justices from the left. It's something that, if you open up the Pandora's box, it will be weaponized in a way that opening the government's a good thing. Democrats will use it for things that give them permanent power, and that's something that you just do not want to do. It's there for a reason. It's a check and balance to government radically changing on certain policies and certain structures. We'll put it that way.
That is certainly the fear, and President Trump has said Democrats are going to do it anyway, so we might as well break it. But speaking of the commander-in-chief, he will head to the Washington Commanders-Detroit Lions game later today. Well, they'll be saluting heroes for Veterans Day. I'm not sure if the my Commanders could actually have any hope of beating the Lions right now. They're so injury-plagued, but perhaps having the commander-in-chief will help them. But there's a little bit of interesting reporting because ESPN has suggested that President Trump might want the new Commanders Stadium named after him. What do you think?
Wow. That's very Trump-like, certainly. And that should just be President Trump trolling, like he said he wanted to make Canada the 51st state. And I wonder, like, if he's really serious about that. But this is beyond smart for him to go to this game today. As you said, Jaden Daniels is out. The Lions are probably going to blow their doors off like the Seahawks did last week. And they're the Redskins, by the way. I refuse to call them the Commanders, Griff. But 30 million people watched last week's game between the Chiefs and the Bills. That's just a regular season game. That's a much higher audience than the World Series. So President Trump understands this opportunity better than any president we've seen since he's got to the Super Bowl, Daytona 500, World Cup final, FIFA here in New Jersey. So it's smart for him to go. It's a big audience, but I think in the end, I think he'd rather see the Redskins name come back than Donald Trump being added to the stadium, if I were to guess.
And that's a great point, Joe. He has certainly spoken about that and supports that. We'll see if it happens. And at the end of the day, the NFL will certainly benefit because having the president there will increase those ratings. Joe Concha, thank you very much. Have a great Sunday.
Thanks, Griff.
All right.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.